What's the song? Ergin Ataman or Turkiye. Turkiye. What kind of song would you like to start this
To be honest,
podcast
I
clip
need
with?
some help from our Turkish followers because I don't know any famous Turkish celebration song.
Of course you don't, because you keep ignoring Turkey's great results. We keep getting comments that we're ignoring this team, although we covered the first 2 games. Somehow we're ignoring
My
this
friend
team.
would advise my friend Gitas,
Don't read the comments.
Don't
huh?
read the comments. Ignore the comments. But you cannot ignore this Turkish team. They just rolled over Estonia 84-64. They had the second best point differential before this game in the EuroBasket, and they'll definitely stay high on the list after this win. Turkey actually have won 3 games with a 20-plus point margin in this EuroBasket, which is for the first time, something happening for the first time since 1957. They remain one of the 6 unbeaten EuroBasket teams up until this moment. So they cannot be ignored. And my question to you, my friend, is Turkey a problem in this EuroBasket? And do you consider them as a serious threat to Serbia in a fight for the first place in a Group A that is scheduled to take place in Riga on Wednesday?
Wednesday, correct. I would be dumb to say that they're not a threat to Serbia, especially after Bogdan Bogdanovic fell out and after how they've looked so far. Of course, we gotta still keep in mind the context of who they've played so far. They've played in their first game, they played Latvia. This is the game that was probably the toughest out of all of them in terms of on paper.
And this was a big win, big game, and really solid performance by Turkey.
Yeah, and probably an underwhelming performance with a lot of jitters, a lot of nervousness from Latvia. Maybe not their best game, let's say.
Although they kept performing at the same average level. So, so far it's a
point being,
average Latvia.
Of course, we can't say that Turkey has not been dominant, like you said. They've been dominant first and foremost
They're
as
good.
An offensive. Yeah, maybe not. Well, they're dominant.
They
You
were
can't
dominant,
say,
completely dominant. 20-point win against Turkey.
Yeah. I can give
teams
you
like
another
Czech
stat.
Republic, Portugal, and Estonia, they didn't have any chance.
Another stat. 19 seconds of trailing versus Latvia, so only for 19 seconds. So that means 39 minutes and 41 seconds they were leading the game. 9 minutes 41 against Czechia in that second quarter, a little bit. But then against Portugal, 26 seconds of trailing. Against Estonia, can you guess? 0 seconds of trailing. So they are dominant. And they're dominant with their offense first. Of course, their defense is good, but they haven't yet faced, besides Latvia, a team that has a big offensive potential. In terms of their offense, they were actually the 3rd best team before this game. After this game, they're the 5th best team with 91 points per game. Of course, that number might go up because now they've played 4 games. Other teams only played 3 games. Same with three-pointers. They were leading the tournament in terms of three-pointer percentage before this game. After this game, they're 3rd. But again, I think they're going to go back up in that first place. They're averaging 46% from deep in this tournament so far, which is a crazy result for the whole team. And what I like about them the most, talking about offense, is that clear hierarchy in leaders. And we know that it's all about Alperen Şengün first and foremost. He's going to be with the ball. He's dominating at the moment with only being 23 years old when you think about it. He's been an all-star this season, but before, he wasn't the guy for Turkey. He was in terms of, let's say, efficiency, scoring, all of that. But
he already had a great tournament in 2022.
Yeah, but now he is the one and the only, the man to look at. And what he's doing is incredible. I mean, we're talking about him like this Nikola Jokic light version, but he's a bit shorter, yes. He's a bit less heavy. He's a bit lighter, but he's also much more athletic, let's say. He can do those dunks in transition. He can take those threes, pull-up threes in your face. He can post up. He's posting up really well. He can play make out of the post, out of just on the perimeter. I love what I'm seeing from him. Then you got secondary scorer, let's say Cedi Osman, who's running in transition, taking threes. He can create his own shot sometimes. He's so far averaging the 2nd most points. And finally, then you get Shane Larkin, who has a different role, like we said when we were watching the game. And I think that role fits him really well. He's not that Shane Larkin of 2020, where he was leading the EuroLeague in scoring, where he would have been the MVP. He's had some injuries that slowed him down. And now he's got this different role where he still can have some outbursts of scoring. He's facilitating, creating opportunities for his teammates, and teammates are converting those opportunities. I have a few more things to say about Turkey, but maybe you want to jump in somewhere.
I'm not sure where I would like to jump in, but I like their core. Although there's this funny moment when you're watching Turkey dominating Estonia, they're up by 20 points. There are like 3-4 minutes to play in the end of the game. And you still see those starters like Şengün, Larkin, Osman on the floor. And while so many other teams trying to be so smart about load management, resting Giannis in one game, playing him some less minutes in the second one, some coaches also doing those decisions in back-to-back games, or just, especially when you have a superstar, you're super smart about how they're trying to use it. I mean, Ergin Ataman still stays loyal to his short rotations, and he basically still played this main core guys of 8 men probably against Estonia, and he just doesn't give any crap about that. And it's his style, and I still think that in those FIBA tournaments, it's quite enough. You don't need to be super lengthy in terms of your bench. You don't need to have that deep bench. Of course, you can take it as your advantage, but I think it's not a problem for Turkey. What I like about this core, that, as you mentioned, I'm also a hierarchy guy. I like how roles are distributed, and I also like those helpers on the team as well. Like Kenan Sipaki, for instance. I didn't expect him to be that solid in the tournament. In the first game against Latvia, he was wonderful. In this game, he was good as well. You can always expect some deflections from Serhmush Hazers, some stolen balls, some highlight reels.
Posterizing dunks?
Crazy dunks. I think Osman is a perfect four-man in a team stacked with star players. I love Adem Bona as a backup center to Alperen Şengün. I even forgot that they have Yurtseven on the bench who is barely playing. Korkmaz is Korkmaz. He's doing fine. He can also have some good stretches scoring the ball. So, I mean, basically, I named the entire core of Turkey, but I like what I see, and I think that this group is capable of going quite deep in this tournament.
Quite deep, you say. Let's say to the very final, because remember, Ergin Ataman, this is another statement that you can find on our Instagram.
One of many statements.
One of many Ergin Ataman statements about Şengün. First, he said that he's going to get a chance to do another triple-double until the final game. So that's one thing he said. The other thing he said that if you gave me Şengün to Panathinaikos, we would beat the Rockets. But
Let's start from beating Serbia, right?
I want to start with, yes, first of all, ambitions to go to the final means that they are going to have to avoid some of the stronger teams in the bracket, let's say.
Why?
Not necessarily, actually.
Yeah.
They can win against anyone. You could think about
I think
it
that
this
they're
way.
really dangerous to any team in the tournament, including Serbia.
But you would prefer probably not to play.
Of course.
So,
but you know how they say, if you want to be the best, you have to beat all the best teams.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And I agree with you that they have the potential to do so, especially with their offense. The only thing was before the tournament, and people got this wrong when they looked at our predictions. We made those predictions a week before the tournament started. We overrated Latvia.
And we actually made a power ranking where we had the Turkey in fifth place.
Yeah, we had them fifth, which is, which is 2 spots above Latvia, but whatever. But the only thing I said in the prediction thing, in the power ranking thing, I said that I'm not exactly confident in the coaching staff. But what I meant by that is that I haven't seen, for example, from Ergin Ataman, when games get tough, when they're trailing, when you need to make adjustments, when things are getting stuck, how do you deal with that? Because sometimes, not sometimes, but in these 4 games that they had so far, everything was smooth sailing, let's say. They were clearly the better team, the more offensively talented team. Everything's great. What happens, we'll see on Wednesday when they play Serbia, what happens if you go behind? Can you bounce back? Can you make the right adjustments? That's what I need to see the proof of. And if I do see that, I'm fine. It's just that looking at the track record with Panathinaikos in the previous seasons, we've seen some games where the team just fell apart if they went in behind and they couldn't bounce back. Some games they did come back, but that was out of pure talent. In terms of strategy, tactical adjustments, That's where I was
We're
stuck.
going to see the majority of those tactical adjustments from Turkey's opponents in the knockout stage, I guess. That's where teams will try to be smarter, outsmart the opponents. That's where they're going to try to be tricky, especially facing such as dangerous opponents like Turkey. And I agree with you. They haven't been tested with the top level teams yet. Okay, you can name Latvia, but again, they're struggling. And yeah, Turkey did well. But as you mentioned, they didn't have this adversity moment yet. All those victories were quite confident. So let's wait and see how they're gonna react when they're gonna get tested. But it's normal. It's a group stage, and they didn't face the main team in the group. But what I like that they still have some, let's say, upside going forward. One of them is Shane Larkin. Although I agree with you, he doesn't need to be the main guy like he is on Efes, and I think it's really good for this Turkey's team with Şengün and with Osman playing great basketball since March. I like that it feels like Larkin is playing more all-around game. He's making deflections. He's making steals. He's not forcing his offense too much. It feels like he reads the situation where he needs to step up offensively to give some new weapons for the team. And at least before this game, he was really efficient, like 80% from 2, 40% from 3. Against Estonia, he was also, 7 points, 3 of 8, but 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. Second best plus and minus on his team. So he's being a really solid contributor, but when it matters, when those big moments in the EuroBasket comes, he's the guy who can rely on.
Sure.
So I believe that we will see more from Shane Larkin, although I like that he's not forcing too much in his current role, because at this point he didn't need to do that yet.
Yeah, for sure. And like we already mentioned, guys like Korkmaz might start shooting better, and there's a lot of potential offensively. The only problem, they haven't faced a defensively minded team so far, or a team that has a proven defensive record, let's say. I don't know.
Serbia is the team.
Serbia is going to be the team. So we'll see the clear picture of how their offense looks like against a team like that. And the matchups, man, the matchups are exciting. I mean, Alperen Şengün versus Jokic. This is the two guys that, well, let's say Alperen's been compared to Jokic more than the other way around.
Jokic.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting for sure. I don't know. Other matchups.
Okay, you didn't answer the question yet.
Are they
Do you
a
see
threat?
them as a threat?
For sure. I said that in the very beginning. I do see them as a threat, especially, like I said, with Serbia not having Bogi. They'll have to reshuffle within the team. Like, we're preparing this whole summer to play a certain way. Bogi's out. What are we going to do now? We try this guy. We try the other guy. Are we going completely through Nikola Jokic's brilliance? Are we still playing this team basketball? What are we doing? They need to figure it out. We'll see today's game against Czechia. We'll see how that goes. But again, you can't really
show anything.
You can't really judge anything from these games against bottom teams like Czechia, who's lost all the
while
games.
Turkey didn't have any problems with Latvia, Serbia did.
Serbia did, but that was the first game.
Small indicator.
But that was the first game without Bogi. Maybe now they make some adjustments. But it'll be very interesting to see, how they approach this game, what adjustments they'll make. It's gonna be a hell of a game. That's all I can say.
I also consider them as a threat. I didn't see that coming before the tournament, before the group stage. So I think that's already a recognition to the Turkey's performance so far in the EuroBasket. But let's wait when they're gonna get tested.
And just say finally, if Turkey wins this game, let's say, again, we're going to have a situation where the whole bracket just gets mixed up, and whoever was calculating who not to play gets to play whoever.
The price of the first place is facing Montenegro in 8 finals, and then somebody from this messed up group in Katowice, Poland, Israel, France, or Slovenia. Or Spain or Italy, most likely.
And if you guys if you love this chaos of the EuroBasket, but you want to make sense of it a little bit more, there are 3 things you got to do. BasketNews.com, you go there to check out all the latest news, all the updates, all the comments from the players.
Did you see the biggest controversy of the EuroBasket so far?
Which is?
That's on Todd Warnick's column about the officiating in Poland's game against Iceland. That's something that you can access only if you're a BN Plus member,
Yeah.
but that's worth a subscription, that's for sure. BasketNews.com/plus.
We also got guys in each group covering the games. We also have our Instagram, our Twitter, all the social media. Check those out. We got great posts just like this one and many more.
Notification bell is important if you
on
want to
this
keep up.
channel, YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and put notifications on. All not just personalized. You won't miss out on any of the clips. We'll keep reacting and we'll keep ignoring Turkey, as you say.